for D. Brown and Illinois. The Big Ten stretch run begins tonight in Ann Arbor against the Wolverines, who are desperate for a Big Ten victory. And this telecast is available on ESPN HD, presented by the Dish Network. Folks, welcome to Super Tuesday, presented by Lexus as part of Judgment Week, presented by Cisco Systems on ESPN. Judgment Week indeed. About a Judgment Week and a half left in the regular season. The standings tell you the story. The Hawkeyes have a shaky one-half game lead over Illinois, Ohio State, and Wisconsin. And for the Wolverines, they've got to reach that 500 mark. They've got 3 games to go. It won't. Steve, just a huge game for both of these teams here tonight.
Well, an outstanding conference race. Great for the fans. That's why we call it Judgment Week. If you're the Illini, Bruce Weber going for his 3rd consecutive outright Big Ten championship. They need a win to stay in contention for that. On the flip side, Tommy Amaker, snake bit, injuries, suspensions. They are on the bubble and slipping. They need a win tonight, Brent, if they want to crawl back on that NCAA tournament picture bubble.
And Steve, it's always fun to watch number 11 of the Fighting Illini. Senior guard D. Brown, averaging better than 14 a game. Daniel Horton, the leader of the Wolverines, averaging better than 60 games. Now, the Wolverines are shorthanded tonight. Chris Hunter out with a knee injury. You see the starting 5. They won't have him coming in behind Horton, Harris, Coleman, Brown, and Sims. Brown, McBride, Randall, Augustine, and Pruitt for the Illini. So Chris Hunter, they have lost their 6'11" backup center, but that's not the only story. Lester Abram hasn't returned, and now Amadou Ba has been suspended for a game and a half for that incident over the weekend up at East Lansing against the Michigan State fan. We'll develop that story later in the evening. So a shorthanded Wolverine team with Tommy Amaker knowing how critical this is in the Illini since becoming the head coach here in Ann Arbor. Bruce Weber, who guided the Illini all the way to the national championship game, and now they are stalking, as Steve told you, their 3rd consecutive Big Ten title under his leadership. Terrific officiating crew. Ed Hightower is our referee tonight. The umpires Hillary and Sanzier. Underway now in the Illini with the first possession. Steve, what do we look for?
Look in the basket area. The play in the paint critical because Michigan and I to exploit that. A thin front line for the Wolverines.
Michigan aggressive on this first possession. Get it into D. Brown's hands. Coming down toward 12 ticks on that clock, on the shot clock. Now they're well inside of 10, and they haven't even gotten close to the rim yet. Maneuver. First shot of the game is on the money from Sean Pruitt.
Great patience by the Illini, getting the ball out of the double team and probed out an interior shot. Well done.
And we'll see what the Wolverines come up with right away. The first shot is missed by Harris, who's back in the starting lineup. They get it right back on that traveling. Augustine and the Illini turn it over here early on.
What's so critical about the fact that Michigan has frontline players missing is the Illini are #1 in rebounding margin in the Big Ten.
And as you pointed out, there's just so much size that the Wolverines are without tonight, and now they give Horton simply lost the handle.
What's interesting about the Illini, they don't have a lot of brawn. They don't have burly frontline players. They rebound well because of position and quickness at snatching the ball.
2 very athletic big men, Steve, in Randall and Augustine, right?
They run the floor well, pass the ball well, very skilled big men.
There is Augustine running the floor to get himself a perimeter shot from the left side, and the Illini lead.
Augustine is a point center, so comfortable facing the basket, a skilled playmaker, the hub of the wheel for the Illini attack.
Trying to get it low to Brown, and they've turned it over again. Pruitt out and out of D. Brown. This is not the kind of start that Amaker wanted to see, and it's 6-0 on a run off early.
Did you see how quick Augustine got down the floor, held his post position for a point-blank layup? Good recognition by D. Brown to Augustine.
The Wolverines are off to a shaky start.
So here's that smothering defense. They cover so much ground in their rotations. They could double-team the ball, double-team the post in the interior or the perimeter, and rotate and not get beat.
Illini fierce man-to-man defense, and that's one way, but it is a 2 from Daniel Horton.
Well, you called it, Brent. That is a tough shot, and the postmen for Michigan have still not received a touch. Graham Brown and Courtney Sims, if you're a team that you want to play through.
Augustine looking to reverse it. Now he puts it back in D. Brown's hands, and he wanted to give it back to Augustine, and the Illini turn it over.
Like Augustine got his feet tripped up there. Incidental contact.
The confidence, Steve, of this Wolverine team may have been shaken over the last 10 days.
What's so difficult? Lose a player, Brent. You have to rebuild or start over as a coaching staff.
That average margin of defeat, that can build up on you mentally. Losing by double digits. And coming in here tonight, basically a pick-em game. Everybody knows how desperate the Wolverines are. They need a win at home, but not going to be easy.
Well, you can't hide in a tough conference like the Big Ten. There are no easy opponents. You look at 9th, 10th, even 11th place teams are tough to beat in this conference.
Horton was under pressure, and he drains the home run ball on D. Brown. Makes it a 1. Wolverines alive early. Beautiful pass from D. Brown. Couldn't finish. There's Pruitt with an offensive rebound. Taken away. Sims yanked it out of his hands.
Big men need to get a touch on this possession offensively. Inside, down low in the basket area.
This is a sound response. Brown muscling, and Augustine picks up. They're going to get him for backing into Augustine, so Augustine does a good job of drawing it, and Amaker can't believe it.
Here, but I thought he let go of the ball before he lifted his pivot foot. A little surprised.
To the corner, McBride. We confirmed that it was a travel, Steve. I thought they were going to get him for backing down. But it was a turnover on the travel now. The scorer did have it over there on the other side. 3-ball, in and out. Pruitt rebounds it.
Everything from the perimeter for Michigan. They need to put some touches in the ball, stay with their pattern to get fouled and get high percentage shots down low in the basket area. We've seen this before out of Michigan. 2 perimeter oriented.
Randall misfired, and we're going to take a break here. It's a 1-point game. Illinois ran off 6, and now the Wolverines with 5 unanswered. I'm out.
NCAA Women's Basketball Championship coming in March.
Gas meets electric. High performance meets low emissions. You can drive 2 cars, or 1 without compromise. Introducing the luxury hybrid, the Lexus RX 400h. Gives more to the driver, takes less from the world.
You gelling?
You know I'm gelling.
Hey, here's the happy groom, Bill McMillan. McMillan, you gelling?
I'm gelling and zinfandellin. So is my new bride, Mrs. Helen McMillan.
I'm so happy my eyes are welling. Did everyone try the prosciutto and melon?
We put the softest gel ever in Dr. Scholl's Massage and Gel insoles. You and your feet will feel outrageously comfortable, guaranteed.
Not gelling.
Are you gelling yet? Dr. Scholl's.
The bench, huddled around, getting ready to go back in.
They're already in foul trouble, and it's early in the game. This could be one of the greatest comebacks in NCAA history. Ball inside. They kick it outside. It's a 3 on the way. It's up and it's gone!
Never say, I missed that game again. Only DirecTV lets you watch up to 3 games at once and broadcast coverage of every tournament game. Ask how you can get DirecTV for just $29.99 a month. Call now before tip-off.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is presented by Pursuit of Perfection and in part by Dr. Scholl's Massaging Gel Insoles. Are you gelling?
And welcome back to Super Tuesday presented by Lexus. It's part of Judgment Week presented by Cisco Systems. 6-5 our score. That foul against Sean Pruitt was our first foul of the game. Here's the Wolverine tournament resume. Their overall record, 1 above 500 in the conference, although they're staggering right now. Key wins, Michigan State and Wisconsin both here. They had UCLA here, but they couldn't handle it. Key non-conference game. They lost that one, and they lost a big one at Purdue. So they are 2-6 against that, an insider RPI. And the remaining schedule, I suppose, can tell us the story here, Steve.
Well, if you're Tommy Amaker, you want to finish at least 8-8 in the Big Ten conference play and then win a game or 2 in the conference tournament so you have some momentum and you feel good about yourself headed into that 3rd season, which is the NCAA tournament.
Horton will bring it up. D. Brown with token pressure in the backcourt here. Wolverines have responded with 5 unanswered of their own, and Horton's been a one-man gang. His air ball was fielded, clean it off.
Sims with an awkward look under the basket area, not a good angle on that launch.
Deep 3 from D. Trying to feed the post. They've turned it over.
Well, coming out of that timeout, Tommy Amaker instructing Michigan to get the ball inside. Sometimes players have a tendency to force. You need to probe, but not force, not be there on the first swing. You may need to reverse it a couple times before looking high-low or an inside pass.
Marcus Arnold now on the floor for the Illini, and there's our second whistle, this one against Harris. And a reminder now, as Judgment Week continues, Alabama and Arkansas. That'll be coming up next here on ESPN. Ronnie Brewer and the Razorbacks trying to win another big one down in the SEC. Illinois, Steve's gone 3.5 minutes here without a field goal.
Just going to say, we see the double teams here on the high ball screens and good rotation.
Augustine has to kick it back out from the paint. McBride trying to get daylight, runs it in.
Illinois so dangerous because of the versatility, the skill set of their players to make the extra pass.
And when you got twice as many turnovers as field goals, not good. And Dave Brown bringing it right back at him. McBride, the 3, left side, 5, and it's 11-5. You don't like the way the Wolverines are starting to talk to each other out there either. 11-5, 14:22 to go. Timeout, Amaker.
Jenkins. Jenkins. Do you know where Jenkins sits?
Sir, Jenkins doesn't actually work here.
But he's around all the time. I saw him here this morning.
Yeah, he's our software supplier.
From Chicago. Sir?
Here you go, Mr. Jenkins.
Now you can fly American for less than you think.
Be back here for Thursday's meeting?
I'll be here. Thank you.
Lower fares, fewer restrictions.
The raise.
We know why you fly. We're American Airlines.
Now, what about D. Brown and his leadership here, Steve?
Well, great quarterbacks, great point guards have excellent vision. They see the floor, they keep their head up, and in the scattered court situation, a great time to shoot a 3 because the defense is not organized. Illinois now 9 points off of 5 Michigan turnovers. That's where defense creates offense.
Yeah, you can see the ratio is not good early. Horton comes back, pulls the trigger. Makes it a 4 now.
That was a tough shot, a contested shot, but mid-range off the bounce.
Augustine feeds it in low to Arnold. The transfer from Illinois State misses. Michigan rebounds it. And there you see Horton just carrying this team on his back. Traveling by the Wolverines.
When you're lacking confidence, you've hit a tough stretch in the season, you tend to hesitate offensively or not sure yourself. Right now, a one-man team, Daniel Horton, but to be able to sustain that for 40 minutes, not realistic if you're Michigan. They're going to need other players to join the party tonight.
Jamar Smith, the gunner, on the floor for the Illini. And out of Peoria. Nice pass from D. Brown. Fake the shot. Hit Augustine, who runs the floor as well as any big man in college basketball.
And set an excellent pick there. Those two have a radar-like sense of where one another are on the floor.
The Illini jump out 13-7. A win tonight, and they would tie Iowa for the conference lead. The 3 by Coleman into Horton's hands. The run in. Got the rope. Daniel Horton carrying the load for the Wolverines.
Horton playing with a nice pace, excellent poise, not rushing offensively.
Here's Jamar Smith, far away from the hoop. McBride ran the baseline. They load Augustine. Kick it back now to D. Brown, inside of 10, coming up. He guns the 3, rims out. Wolverines.
by Petway, clearing the boards out to Horton.
Horton again. Augustine's got the miss. He's controlling the defensive glass. D. Brown tries to slip inside, off balance, throws it in. Crowd wanted traveling.
Boy, in traffic, contested. D. Brown opportunistic, but able to get deep into the basket area.
So on the whistle, we'll have a timeout. And that is first. It's Judgment Week in the Big Ten.
It's time for an alternative vehicle that's fuel efficient yet spacious, that runs cleaner yet more powerfully. Introducing the world's first luxury hybrid, the Lexus RX 400h.
Coach used to say 2 points is 2 points. My old coach couldn't dunk.
Illinois on the road with an early lead. Now it's time for ESPNU's Pride of the Program. And in the spotlight tonight, folks, Quinnipiac. Quinnipiac had only been, but a win against Central Connecticut State in the NEC tourney final would get them into the big dance. The Bobcats, though, couldn't quite make that leap, though a strong statement had been made by this young team. Bonus points, folks, if you know where Quinnipiac is. And more of ESPNU's Pride of the Program features available on mobile ESPN. You're right, you got it. It is in Connecticut.
Brent, let's take a look at little two-man basketball, the well together. D. Brown and Augustine. Here's Augustine setting a screen for D. Brown. Brown with the catch. Now we're going to see a little rescreen from a different angle. As you see the Etch-a-Sketch there. Come off the pick and a roll to the basket. A good find for a high percentage flush.
Etch-a-Sketch. Screen and rescreen. You're all over it tonight.
Gotta love the
You've been working on your terminology. Huh? Somebody's already got diaper dandy, so you got to go someplace else. Etch-a-Sketch. I like it. Let's see. Eddie Hightower and explaining to Tommy Amaker something in behind the basket, and they'll come over here eventually. And now they're bringing the teams back over to the bench. So we'll get a clarification here. Regardless, the Illini, Steve, they break out 59 in this game. They're shooting 53.8%. And let's check that Illinois resume. They obviously are headed back to the tournament. Notice that that insider RPI at 12. Okay, Key wins. Georgetown looks much better now the way the Hoyas have played. Michigan State at Wisconsin. Key loss, and who can explain this except, folks, DeChellis is doing a fantastic job. No, he probably won't get a lot of mention for Coach of the Year in the Big Ten, but right now he's my Coach of the Year for going into Champaign and beating this man right here and ending that home winning streak. That's a fabulous win.
Well, so critical when you play teams, because well-coached teams at the bottom of the league get better with each practice and game. You'd rather play them early than late. And the flip side, the wheels have fallen off in Indiana. Illinois played Indiana when they're in their hunt for the Big Ten championship. Now, with all the unrest in Bloomington, this is a time of the year you want to play the Hoosiers.
Wolverines searching against this a little bit too tough foul against the Illini, and that's going to be on Arnold. You mentioned Indiana. Let me follow up on that. You know, my bracketologist, Joe Lenardi on ESPN.com, the one I go to faithfully twice a week. He's the one who tells you who's going to be in the tournament. He doesn't read the tea leaves, folks. He lets the game come to him. He has Indiana off the board right now. He has 6 Big Ten teams on the board. Iowa, Illinois, both 3 seeds, and Ohio State, a surprising 2 seed, according to my bracketologist.
Well, he has all the teams in the Big Ten do. That's why it's Judgment Week. You got to put up or shut up. Take care of business. You can really help yourself in terms of seeding, in terms of the NCAA tournament.
There's a whistle. Harris got to the rim that time and got waved off. You make this call, Lav. There's interference right there. The ball was up on the cylinder.
Tough angle.
Arnold comes out high. Illini hitting 54% here. We're just about halfway through the opening half in Ann Arbor, Michigan. Judgment Week on ESPN. Carter. Back with his miss, and the Wolverines come out. Beautiful feed in low. First field goal of the night. Brent Petway. Boy, Dee Brown, he handles the ball. He is the quarterback of the Illini, isn't he? Randall's playing with that sprained right wrist. Very athletic. That is not the same arm he broke the left hand last year. Dee Brown missing Augustine underneath, cleans it up. An offensive putback.
There's that foot speed and that quickness, the ability to snatch the rebound and get a high percentage second shot by the Illini category on the season. The best in the Big Ten.
8 points for Augustine here in the early going.
He just kind of slithers his way in. Very tough to box out because of his angular build as well as his quickness.
Hit by Illinois, so it'll be Michigan basketball. And there again, Judgment Week presented by Cisco continues tomorrow. Duke and Georgia Tech. J.J. Redick needs just 31 points to set the all-time ACC scoring record. And then Milwaukee and Chicago. NBA 17-14. They're off the curl. Randall.
I like Ryan Randall, an excellent prospect, improves with each game. See, Randall, Jamar Smith, they're the X factor for the Illini. As we see them double team and rotate quickly, they get you to take those in-between shots. They disrupt your half-court offense by doubling the post and doubling ball screens.
Dee Brown is cut off and turns it over on the pass. Smith on the floor. Drives around for the Illini. Jared Smith.
Boy, excellent maneuvering in the open court. Maneuverability speed, so critical in basketball. So oftentimes, Brent, we'll see players just go too quick.
Brown fed Carter. Shot clock comes down to what it doesn't. Brown, left-handed driving miss. Battle for the rebound and off out of bounds. Michigan. Ron Coleman returns, and you're looking at Chester Frazier as Carter sits for the Illini. So Bruce Weber, he has a point guard of the future. Steve, would you agree with me? Chester Frazier, the young man from Baltimore, ever to be recruited by the Illini. He looks like he's got a fine, fine future as the Illini point guard.
Puts great pressure on the balls and runs into a tough screen by Graham Brown there in the open court.
Michigan, Steve, has been unable to get this game going down low where they thought they might have an edge. But Sims, even though he outjumps, gets it back. Look where they're keeping him. He's not being able to get close to the basket. So they step it outside, and they knock the three down. Coleman just off the bench. Makes it a one-point game.
We talked about other players needing to step up tonight with the fact that Michigan thin up front. Coleman, one of those candidates to step up.
And right back at you, Dee Brown.
There's the counter punch by a senior, a veteran player.
they feed in low to Sims, and there's the Wolverine game. Michigan has never been ahead in this game. They were down 6-0.
Sims shooting 63% on the season.
And sticking with it that time is Sean Pruitt, after watching much of the first half, just picking up number 2. So that's the second foul. The Amadou Ba story. Why he is suspended for tonight. That's coming up.
Gas meets electric. High performance meets low emissions. You can go one without compromise. Introducing the luxury hybrid, the Lexus RX 400h. Gives more to the driver, takes less from the world.
Right here, this is MSG. We call it the Garden. Just tragedy everywhere. It's something that you want to get your family away from. That's what I'm trying to do.
My brother's about to do something that a lot of people don't get a chance to do.
The pro scouts made me a little uneasy.
The word is that you're going to the NBA.
You don't listen to that.
ESPN Original Entertainment presents the defining year of Sebastian Telfair.
Going all out for me, my family, and my team.
Through the Fire, both at 8 p.m. Eastern on ESPN.
John and Mary are always together. Sophie and Larry more in love than ever. But how did they meet? With SMS Genie. It's simple. Just grab your cell phone and text D17 and send it to phone number 40200. Just text D17 and send it to 40200. And before you know it, you'll be listening to messages from thousands of members in your area. Get your first 10 messages at no cost to you. That's right, pick up your cell phone and text D17 and send it to 40200 and get your first 10 messages at no cost for all major cell phone carriers.
Load for load. Power for power. Not to mention, at GMC, every Sierra is engineered to the highest standard by any measure, even dollar for dollar. Compare for yourself at KellyBlueBooksKBB.com. Then see the pros at your local GMC dealers.
A one-point game, and you're looking at Amadou Ba, who will not play tonight because he's suspended for a game and a half. Let's take you back to Saturday, East Lansing, Michigan. The spot shadow is upside. Amadou Ba sitting in a chair at courtside. This is obviously prior to the game. The fan had been riding the Wolverines for some 30 minutes. Now watch as he walks past Ba. Now watch, Ba sort of sticks his foot out. The fan will go back, grab his leg. Ba will stand up, push him to that, watch him hit his head. The police confirmed to ESPN afterwards that the young fan had been drinking. He was unconscious. He is fine. Now, I spoke with Commissioner Jim Delaney of the Big Ten. What he's very from the AD at Michigan, Ron Mason, the AD at Michigan State, they got together. And a joint release on the part, and both the student has been suspended from attending the game in East Lansing. The next 1.5 of that, you are suspended automatically for half the remaining games. That's why it's a game and a half. The Wolverines have 3 games left. I talked to Amadou. He said, I'm so sorry it happened. I'm so sorry. I should not have reacted that way. Manners better, I know, in the future. And here we get a big 3 knocked down as Michigan takes the lead. And Amadou Ba, one of their leading cheerleaders. And folks, I want to just say to you right now, he is an outstanding young man. And he really does regret what happens. And we hope that the young fan does too. Both have undergone counseling. And life goes on. 23-21. Michigan with a 2-point lead. It's first of the game. And right now, let's check in with Stan Verrett for a Sports Center. Hey, Stan.
Okay, Brent, thanks a lot. The other shoe has fallen for Jimmy Johnson's crew chief after the incident at the Daytona 500. Chad Knaus was fined by NASCAR $25,000, also suspended for an additional 3 races for his illegal modifications to Johnson's car before the Daytona 500. And at the Olympics in Torino, Sasha Cohn's performance in the short program has catapulted her into first place. She has just the free skate left on Thursday to try to claim a gold medal. More on Sports Center coming up at 11 Eastern.
All right, Stan, so Sasha to the rescue. Well, that'll be a story worth following. Here the Wolverines, 23-21, 6 minutes remaining. And D. Brown, boy, he's tough in the clutch tonight, Coach.
A great lift on his shot. Feathery touch. see that extended Illini defense over the course of the game that can wear you down.
Rebound by the Illini off the miss, and here he is. I'd like to have a watch on how much of the time D. Brown has handled the ball and how many possessions. I can't remember one possession that he hasn't handled the ball. As Randall comes back, he is indeed the quarterback of this Illini team.
Well, multiple players, Brent, that can pass the ball, as we just saw there on that easy basket on the inside.
5:26 to go. Alabama, Arkansas. That's coming up next. SEC. Pretty wild and woolly down there. Looks like Kentucky going to make a late surge, huh? And Randall picked up his first foul this game for the Illini. It's all part of Judgment Week presented by Cisco Systems on ESPN.
Coach Weber getting D. Brown a blow. He has excellent stamina. I think that football background that D. Brown has serves him well, as we see a forced pass on the interior. Just no daylight there. Horton trying to find Graham Brown along the baseline. Good idea, just not well executed.
Both he and Augustine were high school quarterbacks. Augustine gave it up when he became a senior. His father is with us here tonight. He's been a high school and a college football player. There he is. Augustine finishing strong. And the Illini out 27-23. James Augustine tonight is 5 of 5 from the field.
He never forces, always plays within himself. Doesn't get frustrated. He can beat you so many ways, Brent, at the defensive end with his position and quickness, offensively because of feet to the basket, running the floor in transition. Just a great feel for the game.
We saw Dale Augustine watching from the stands, a gentleman with glasses, and his mom at Wisconsin Oshkosh was a fine swimmer. And here comes Randall. Yeah, one-handed run and slam. He missed last season with that broken hand. He struck a wall in anger during a practice session in November. And the Illini were very concerned about replacing him. But remember the performance by season. Backing in now is Sims.
That's what Michigan has to counter with. Put the ball down low. At times we've seen Michigan struggle with their shot distribution or shot allocation. The higher percentage players need to be taking the shots.
Back to that loose ball. Themselves a second opportunity. Deep three from McBride. Sims, defensive rebound.
Sims shoots 63%, Brent.
Offense is the call against Daniel Horton. Frazier drew the charge. Take a look at Randall on the loose here, folks. We've got a timeout in Ann Arbor.
Tomorrow night, 3 top 10 teams are on the docket as Judgment Week rolls on. On ESPN at 7, ACC Wednesday finds #1 Duke at Georgia Tech. ESPN 2, #7 Texas visits Kansas State. And at 10, it's UTEP versus #3 Memphis. For NBA fans, it's the Bucks and the Bulls on ESPN at 9. For all the latest, all the time, turn to ESPN News.
Now, and we'll make your first month's payment when you lease the all-new Milan for just $219 a month.
7-Up Plus with calcium. With a burst of real fruit juice, 10% of your daily calcium, and only 10 calories per serving. It tastes so good, you can feel it in your bones. 7-Up Plus. For great taste with calcium, the only way to go is up.
Ready to double your chances of landing? If you post your resume on Monster today, you're twice as likely to get the interview and the job.
The right software can make any size company more efficient, more agile, more responsive. In short, make your company more. That's why companies that run SAP are 32% more profitable than companies that don't. So the next software, choose the software that's most likely to return the favor. SAP.
Stan, we're right here in the studio with Jay Billis, Rick Majerus, the UPS halftime report coming up in just a minute. Jay, the Wolverines have to be careful not to let this one slip away before the half.
Well, they're in good shape right now. I think the key, Stan, is really transition defense. If you can take Illinois out of transition, make them play against your half-court defense, you got a much better shot.
That you do, and what I like is that the way they're trapping the ball, extending their defense, and keeping them off balance. They're not letting Illinois' passing game get into a rhythm.
All right, highlights from other games. Brent, back to you.
All right, Stan, and what we found here, what do you think those two professors do here in Ann Arbor?
Probably existentialist professors. When you think
on the right-hand side, the one on the left might be at the law school.
It could be, yeah. A little Nietzsche and Heidegger, life study.
Do you think they saw those champions? Now that's not nice. Yeah, we got some great fans here, as they do all around the country. Nice being down in ACC country over the weekend. The pull-up shot by McBride, and here come the Wolverines. Coach, how many free throws have we had? Do I remember any free throw being shot? What do you got on your stats?
A well-officiated game, a complete goose egg.
McBride. Give it back now, and Horton guns it.
Yeah, we'll talk some more about shot distribution and shot allocation, but Graham Brown shoots in the 60s. Courtney Sims, Petway shoots in the high 50s, and yet they take less shots than the perimeter players for the Wolverines, who shoot in the 30s and 40s. Shot discipline, shot distribution, so important in offensive basketball.
Augustine steps out. That's his first miss of the night. 4-point Illini lead here. And again, Michigan needs to stop the bleeding. Had a chance to capture a home game in the Big Ten. The three from Jared Smith. The fellas love that upstairs, huh? Oh my.
Enough of the philosophy. Let's get to a ball game, huh? A little Big Ten action.
Boy, they cut Augustine off. That double team, force it back into D. Brown's hands. If you chose a team, the 5 favorite players to watch in college basketball this year, here's one of them, number 11. Augustine controls, gets in, and he'll be in the free throw line. So we're finally going to have a free throw shot here. Take us back to that fast break.
Well, first, let's take a look at the offensive spacing. Everyone running a lane in the break. And then in addition to that, the passing between their big people. We just saw it on the last foul opportunity. D. Brown gives it to Augustine. Some big men would panic and travel, but he has the poise to dump it off to his partner Randall inside. They look for one another so well on the interior. That little extra pass, which leads to a higher foul shooting situation like this.
I talked about football with Augustine. He had a cousin I covered a lot at Virginia Tech from 1995 to 2000, Nick Sorensen. You folks probably remember he played Jacksonville, safety in the NFL. And that is James Augustine's cousin. So there's a lot of athletic genes in the Augustine. There's Pops. That's Dale. And he was a football player at Wisconsin Oshkosh, and Mom was a swimmer on the team, and he's got his game face on tonight. And D. Brown's mom is with us here tonight. She's over there. The Illini parents, they travel around the Big Ten. James misses that. Sits on a 2, coming out of 2 minutes now. Missing the 3. McBride snatches it. There's Frazier. Great block by Brown. Chester Frazier going to the rim, and he had it stuffed back in his face.
Well, Graham Brown just simply says, too small, little fella, not in here. Look at the Bronco Nagurski strength, the pipes on Graham Brown. Pulling guard for the Packers.
Yeah, he is muscular, lad. You know, it is amazing how basketball players lifting weights. I remember in the old days, they didn't think it was good for you to do that, but lo and behold, didn't lift weights today. And D. Brown on the drive, crashing in, and one. And Kathy loved that action. So D. Brown's mom applauding that field goal, and one coming up for D.
Brent, D. Brown did an excellent job, because he's smaller, of initiating contact to draw the foul, get the old-fashioned potential three-point play here, but a smaller player that's crafty by putting a body on the defender, that doesn't allow him to get full extension and therefore over the top. That's a crafty vet.
And it's something that Frazier has not learned yet. When he got in low, go ahead and get that foul from Graham and get on the line.
And little subtleties like that as you go along throughout your career, you learn.
Harris, back from the ankle injury as a starter. He's been relatively quiet here tonight, as has most of the Wolverines, except Horton. He's carried him offensively, hasn't he? Another McBride rebound. Outlet pass to Frazier. Augustine, and a blocking foul on the free throw line. So tomorrow at 7 o'clock, Duke at Georgia Tech, and the ACC's all-time leading scorer, Dickie Hemrick, and J.J. Redick tomorrow night with a 31-point night can capture a record that has stood since the 50s. And you'll see that. It's all part of Judgment Week. J.J. Redick is another one. Adam Morrison of Gonzaga would be on the all-favorite team. As players you love tonight. In case you didn't see a box this morning, you weren't close to a computer. Had 26 in that Gonzaga win over Pepperdine. He and Redick in a very spirited battle for Player of the Year nationally. So Michigan unable to get to the free throw line here. Illini playing tough man-to-man defense and not reaching in and fouling.
Well, intensity and intelligence. Illini, until that, fouling a three-point shooter, a no-no, a cardinal rule in basketball. Do not bail out a jump shooter by fouling him, in particular that far from the basket.
And that's 2 on Frazier, so it's he knows it. He said, coach is right. Shouldn't have fouled him on that 3. And Jarrett Smith will step up to the line.
You know, when you have no free throw attempts, that's a symptom that indicates an issue. And the issue with the Wolverines is not getting the touch managers, the high percentage finishers in the basket area. Graham Brown, Courtney Sims, and Brent Petway, all shooting in the high 50s and 60s, yet they get less touches than the players in the perimeter.
Chris Hunter, you saw him in civilian clothes, unable to play with that MCL injury. They're hopeful that he'll get back for the last game of the season before the Big Ten tournament. Big Ten tournament, of course, will be down in Indianapolis. 16 days until the tournament begins at the Conseco. Just a great event. Off the front of the iron and into Augustine's hands.
I think this year, as much as any, Brent, each game in the Big Ten Conference tournament will be lights out because the bottom half of the league is so strong.
You can see that the Wolverines love to stop that streak. Seattle, however, when the Wolverines won a huge game, a national semifinal, and that set the stage for the dramatic overtime win against Seton Hall, winning a national championship. Lav?
Well, these are the 3 players that need to get touches. Daniel Horton, outstanding player, but he's shooting 43%. Deion Harris at 43%, yet all of the big men on the front line for Michigan shooting in the high 50s and 60s. That's why they have to play through the big fellas. Get yourself in the foul shooting opportunities. Get your team to the double bonus. Another tough place to pick up the dribble.
A tough one when you're down by 4 and you've given the Illini the last shot. You had a chance to cut it to 2, and with 7 seconds, now the Illini will talk about what they want to do here. And you know, it has been so hard picking the team that might step out on the rest of the field. I know both you and I thought it was going to be Michigan State. They've been unable to do it. Now Steve Alford, he goes on the road up to Minneapolis. He gets picked off. How about the coaching job Munson is doing up there with the...
Well, there's a lot of spoilers there in the bottom of the Big Ten that are very dangerous, but we've said it all year. Wouldn't be surprised if there weren't 3 or 4 teams that get a piece of the Big Ten championship. In 2002, there was a 4-way tie, and Michigan State, don't count them out because they have teams above them coming to their home floor where they play exceptionally well. They still have Illinois, Wisconsin, Ohio State on their home floor. So Michigan State could win out and put themselves right back in the top of the league.
Think Steve Alford's going to Indiana?
Tell you what, there will be a Greenspan wants Steve Alford. Could be another situation when they put together a selection committee. Obviously, the president, Rick Greenspan, going to be critical in that decision. But Steve Alford, the timing is good. He's having an outstanding season. He's a golden boy.
D. Brown with the ball. Last second shot. Throws it up. No, at the buzzer. It'll be a 4-point difference. Well, Michigan led at 23-21 with 6:52 to go. James Augustine, he led the Illini to that first half lead, 34-30. Now let's join Stan, Rick Majerus, and Jay Billis, the UPS halftime report. Take it away, Stan.
Okay, Brent, thanks a lot. So the Michigan Wolverines depleted. They lost 4 of their last 5 games coming in, suffering some injuries. But, Jay, they're hanging tough so far through 20 minutes.
And you mentioned it, the injuries have been key for Michigan, but they're doing a good job, again, of hanging tough against a very good Illinois team, a team that's really good defensively. I know Tommy Amaker wasn't happy with the way his team finished the half. They had an opportunity to get a 2-for-1 at the end of the half, but Daniel Horton has seen over, and they gave Illinois a chance. They were fortunate not to let Illinois score there.
At least they've eliminated the turnovers on post speeds that they had earlier, but Illinois, in my estimation, is the best on the ball and the best help defense in the Big Ten. I think Illinois pulls away the second half by virtue of their defense, unless Horton can really rise. They've got to get something out of Sims and Graham in the post, and I don't see that happening against Illinois.
They could use a victory to try to get out of that log jam on top of the Big Ten. Again, you heard Brent mention this during the half. There are 4 teams on top of the Big Ten with 4 losses, Illinois among them. So no's been a dominant team in Torino in figure skating.
We welcome you back to Super Tuesday, presented by Lexus. It's part of Judgment Week, presented by Cisco Systems. A 4-point Illinois lead. And James Augustine has been very active here, Coach.
Well, the Illini with James Augustine, all of his skills on display. In transition on the break, the nice touch pass. Even though he's angular and gives away some weight, holds his position in the post for a high look. And then the screen, rescreen, and roll to the bucket for the flush. Skills on display here in Ann Arbor.
Wolverines with the opening possession of the second half. So Augustine and the Illini back on defense.
8 boards for Augustine as well, Brett. So getting it done in the basket area. Runs like a deer. He is a tough matchup.
And you can see how the ball is just staying around the perimeter, Steve, which is what you talked to me about at the intermission. As we take a look at tonight's UBS first half stats, there's your field goal shooting. Turnovers, the Wolverines hurt themselves as the Illini burned them for 15 points off those turnovers. But
not sure about that last call. Courtney Sims setting a good post in the block, got called for the offensive foul. I like the fact that Sims was trying to hold his position down low.
So Brown handles the ball here. Horton stays on him. And a wide open Pruitt in low, follows his own miss.
Able to clean up the garbage on his own missed shot. That's staying with it, keeping the ball high off the glass, high hands.
Out of West Aurora High School, just outside of Chicago. At the perimeter, Horton, who carried them in the first half, knocks that ball down, and he has about half of their points.
Well, 17 points on the night, Brent. But one, the Illini go the other way. Again, a putback. Little volleyball on the boards. Augustine picking up a rebound and 2 points.
Off the pass, Harris just can't sort of find his touch here tonight. He's 0 of 3 from the floor now.
Well, so one-dimensional the Wolverines are tonight. Continuing to launch from the perimeter, and then the Illini at the other end go down low to Augustine for a simple jump hook. High percentage basketball.
Biggest lead of the night. Remember, they ran out to a 6-0 lead, Steve, 40-33.
Let's see if the Wolverines get the ball down low. Continue to launch.
They didn't even try. D. Brown's cut off, turned it over. Had that high dribble, couldn't control it. Numbers for the Wolverines, and they're going to shoot a 3 off of it. Harris knocks down his first field goal of the night. Very active student body over across the way.
Tell you one thing, Harris and Horton have confidence. Talk about no conscience. Those two will continue to put the ball up from the perimeter.
And Augustine turns it over. Let's watch this jump hook, though, down low on Graham Brown.
Well, single coverage. Look at the nice follow-through. Even on a hook shot, you want that same fingertip follow-through that you have on a jump shot. The feathery touch down low. Good rotation on that jump hook.
Now Horton for the three, drains it. We've got a one-point game. And Horton continues to be the scoring machine for the Wolverines. Off a miss, they can now take the lead. You know who feels it.
Maybe Tommy Amaker's onto something. They're going to go Paul Westhead, Loyola Marymount style. Just keep launching the threes like Jeff Fryer and company. Kimball gathers.
Here they are. Coleman puts them ahead. 42-40. Amaker fired up. That's about as animated as I've seen Tommy Amaker in a long time.
The double uniform slapping the floor.
Timeout. Long ball, second half for the Wolverines.
Forget throwing the ball to the post, Brent. Why not just put it up from long range? Nothing but net, baby.
Timeout.
Some beers have a full filling. Some beers are easy to drink, but don't satisfy. Then, there's Budweiser Select. Made from only the finest hand-picked American and Bavarian hops. Budweiser Select is brewed longer for a bold taste that finishes clean. Everybody has their something, but Budweiser Select has it all.
Hello, sir. 20 minutes away. Yes, sir. Bye.
Prices, I stay grinding. People trail blind. All the peeps want to stand.
160 channels of rap, rock, sports, and more with XM satellite radio at Avis. Just another way we try harder.
As a way of shaking things up. But when it comes to your money, ING is making it easier. See why it's easier on the bench. Ask your financial professional about ING, your future made easier.
I have a talent agent, but he doesn't always come through. Look at her, Miss Antarctica. What a gal.
Fortunately, my insurance agent always comes through.
John have compared companies, and the best deal for you is Drive Insurance.
Drive Insurance?
From Progressive. Only agents sell it.
Sounds good to me. Sushi for lunch, Sparky?
Drive Insurance is sold only through independent agents. To find one, go to driveinsurance.com and relax. Just drive.
A 9-0 run for Tommy Amaker, who is very emotional, folks, and we'll show you why when he's taking on the Illini. He is 0-12 losses when he was the head coach at Seton Hall. And Steve, it's the long ball that's brought them back. They've hit 4 of 6 this half from outside that arc.
Well, Tommy Amaker and the staff must figure with Chris Hunter at 6'11" out, Lester Abram at 6'6" out, and Amadou Ba at 6'10" out, that he is just going to rely with the weapon of the three-point attack. And it is working the second half.
D. Brown tries to respond and does after the break.
Turning into Troy State, Loyola Marymount. This game may be in the hundreds.
Harris deflected. Here's the man. Horton knocks it down again. 45-43. Daniel Horton, a scoring machine tonight. 23. He's hit 5 of 7 threes. His career high, incidentally, is third his way. That came against the Golden Gophers of Minnesota. Augustine bumping on Graham. Deflected. Blocked by Sims. Horton's got it again. Cut off. And right back to regain control. He is dominating the ball here in this half. The run in and the whistle this time against the Illini. D. Brown unhappy about this whistle. We've got a timeout. Horton carried by 2.
I thought we were here for a meeting.
We are.
So why are you on your laptop?
I'm emailing you. Check your inbox.
Now? We can talk. It's a private club.
As private as our network.
I'll check my inbox.
Privacy. Powered by Cisco.
Hey, nice Harley.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, it's great. It's the way I live my life, you know, by my own rules. Well, that's my creed or motto. My credo, you know?
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I like to live like by the edge of my... Can you believe the crime in this town? It's crazy. It's like broad daylight right in front of us. It's like, hello, it's my bike, miss.
Maybe you should get your own.
It is long ball night here, and
the Wolverines bombs away, dialing it up from long distance. Horton from deep in the corner. A draw and kick to Coleman. That basket gets bigger and bigger. Back to Horton again. The Wolverines filling it up, Brent.
Judgment Week on ESPN, presented by Lexus, and this telecast available on HD, presented by the Dish Network.
I would think in that timeout, if you're Tommy Amaker, instead of continuing to live and die by the sword, you tell your team this is an excellent time to get the ball into the block, into the basket area.
They'll start outside. There are your three-point field goals tonight.
Good quick double team by the Illini on the post catch by Sims.
Horton, the two. Everything falling for Daniel Horton.
I like we're patient. They didn't force the post action.
Wolverines now enjoying their biggest margin of the night. Tough Wolverine defense. Fine feed from short range to Augustine, who flushes it.
One of the better interior post passing teams. The Fighting Illini really do a nice job, Brett, of looking for one another on those interior passes.
A little bit, no harm, no foul. Horton muscles, and he was well defended by Randall that time. He had no chance against the taller defender. In low to Sims, who's doubled. Ball out of bounds, belongs to the Wolverines with 11 on the shot.
Nice job of the Illini going straight up, building a wall, extending those hands vertically straight up to the ceiling.
Coach Weber is going to go small. He sends Frazier in, takes Pruitt out. Petway back on the floor. Will give D. Brown a chance to maneuver without the ball if Frazier moves in on it. So here's D. He'll work in the backcourt with the point guard of the future right now. Is Weber makes a big adjustment here. 47-45, down 2.
This team resembles last year's Illini team. Down low to Sims.
Augustine off now to Frazier. He's going to run the floor. Loose ball right away. And held on the possession arrow. Of course, a reminder a little bit later, Mark Gottfried and the Crimson Tide of Alabama. You'll see their key man. It's all part of Judgment Week, presented by Cisco Systems. Arkansas hosting Alabama on a key SEC matchup. That's coming up next here. Brown returns and Sims sits.
A spirited effort by Tommy Amaker's troops. Jarrett Smith getting on the floor there.
So the possession arrow now has switched over to Michigan on the net. Illini down at 2, being kept outside the perimeter with the shot moving down toward 10. Augustine far away from the basket. Now 5. Now they got to go to work low, and blocking foul on Petway, who went down trying to defend Randall. That's his second foul, and Weber liked it. Randall maneuver. Watch this.
Job by Petway, moving the feet, taking it right on the chest. Textbook charge.
So Horton whips it over now. Wolverines will reset.
Good movement by the Wolverines, Brent. Gives yourself a chance to get fouled when you put touches on the ball and then get to the double bonus sooner as a result.
There's your 2 stars tonight. Dozen and the 5 assists. And Daniel Horton 5 of 7 from three-point range. And Horton has 11 of Michigan's 17 second half points. Smith on the floor for them, and here's Harris. This from long range, and Frazier puts it down. Didn't take Frazier long to find D. Brown that time, did it, folks?
Lineup looks a little bit like last year's Illini team when they went small with Luther Head, D. Brown, Roger Powell, Darren Williams, and James Augustine. 5 interchangeable parts on the floor. Could pass and catch, make decisions. Of course, D. Brown holding on to the ball here.
Shot clock down to 3, and Augustine comes up firing. Good Michigan defense.
Love Graham Brown, the way he rebounds the ball, clears the boards.
And Horton on to the free throw line, and it's a 4-point Michigan lead.
Illinois needs to do a better job of containing the dribble. Horton able to penetrate, get into the paint too deep.
Brown fires, good, the 3. Pulls the Illini to within 1. Horton responds, off the glass, everything falling. Tried to draw the foul, no whistle. Horton aims for a career. Remember, we told you earlier, 32 is the magic number for Horton.
On that possession, Michigan doing a nice job of taking the Illini's basket away by inbounding and getting organized and pushing in transition. Used to see the old Laker break do that. Take your basket away with one of your own.
The pull-up by D. Brown rebounds again, sealed Augustine off. Inside to Petway, who finished, and they build their biggest margin of the night, 5. Shooting 54%. Crisler Arena alive. Can Tommy Amaker get off the schneid against the Fighting Illini? Watch this pass this time.
Look at the boards, the quick outlet which starts the break. Numbers. Smith looking up ahead, the Petway flush. Ball handlers always have their head up and see the floor. The pass is quicker than the dribble in advancing the ball up the floor.
And Michigan, Steve, the only team to score 70-plus points against this Illinois defense this season when they put 74 on them. Can they do it again? And there are the standings. Iowa at 9-4, a half game ahead of Illinois, Ohio State, and Wisconsin. Michigan State at 7-5, and you can see the Wolverines at 7-6. So indeed, this is judgment's concerned, and we are just a little over 2 weeks away from the Big Ten tournament with Daniel Horton, 29 points. Steve, 12 of 18 from the floor. Now, we both thought they were going to have to feed the post and get it down low. So did Rick Majerus at halftime, but they're doing it with the long ball here.
Quite a performance from an individual standpoint. Daniel Horton, remarkable offensively, but don't forget about this Wolverine effort defensively. Coming out of the timeout, they go to a zones change defensively by Tommy Amaker, giving the Illini a different look, trying to throw him out of rhythm because you know Bruce Weber set up a play for man-to-man.
Deep 3. D for 3, makes it a 2.
Well, that's a nice answer. They go zone, just bombs away, baby.
He's put 18 up. What a shootout we've had here in the second half, huh?
We've seen a spirited effort. That's why we call it Judgment Week. The last 10 games, the selection committee looks at has it so critical.
There's the foul. D. Brown. Tommy Amaker trying to beat Illinois for the first time. Bruce Weber trying to drive the Illini to another Big Ten title.
The country's imagination captured. Introducing the all-new 2006 Lincoln Zephyr. See your dealer today and capture this attractive offer. Lincoln, reach higher.
Right here, this is MSG. We call it the Garden. There's tragedy everywhere. It's something that you want to get your family away from. That's what I'm trying to do.
My brother's about to do something that a lot of people don't get a chance to do.
The Pro Scouts made me a little uneasy.
The word is that you're going to the NBA. You don't listen to that.
Entertainment presents the defining year of Sebastian Telfair.
Going all out for me, my family, and my team.
Through the Fire. Premieres Sunday, March 12th at 8 p.m. Eastern on ESPN.
You'll find that many of the designer suits that we sell for $200 are made with the same quality and care as those that others sell for twice as much, which probably explains why we can sell so many of them, which in turn explains why we can sell them for $200.
$200. Men's Warehouse.
You're gonna like the way you look. I guarantee it.
To contact the store nearest you, call 1-800-776-SUIT.
It's a comfortable feeling knowing your annuity from Prudential can bring you a check every month for the life of your retirement. Prudential Financial. Growing and protecting your wealth for retirement.
53-51 as the Wolverines come storming out here in the second half. Featuring the long ball here, Coach Lavin.
Well, the Wolverines thriving from long range on the perimeter. And it begs the question, presents the question, Brent, coming down the stretch, do you continue to double up and launch from long range, or do you now counter and try and go inside and have a balanced offensive attack and give yourself a chance to get to the foul line in late game situations?
Yeah, neither team has made a living on the line here tonight, and we'll see if that changes as the final 10:26 unfolds. Following the timeout, D. Brown stalking Harris. And you better believe that Horton will not be on that bench long. Coleman misfires. Petway digs it out, and here's Smith.
Michigan shooting 53%, and that is against the #1 field goal percentage defensive team.
Smith through the foul. Well, if you like long-range shooting, tomorrow night, Judgment Week main attraction presented by Cisco, Duke and J.J. Redick against Georgia Tech. And then the NBA returns Wednesday night following the All-Star break, Milwaukee and Chicago, where there'll be some more big trades. A lot of trade rumors swirling around the NBA. I cannot believe that Kevin Garnett's name is coming up. And Dickie Hemrick of Wake Forest has the record. And if J.J. lights up at Ramblin' Wreck tomorrow night for 31, he'll own the time scoring record. So more great hoops action coming your way on Judgment Week here on ESPN tomorrow night. 55-51, the Wolverines desperate for a Big Ten win. Brown keeps the ball. Horton, as you can see, back on the floor. Number 4 of the Wolverines. He's carried him. That figures to be his last blow of the night, folks. Amaker will this one. Inside of 10 on that shot clock. Not this time, but tracked down by Augustine.
And that fresh snow, a reset. Tough place to pick up the dribble. Wisely gets the timeout. You know, on the season in conference, Brent, the Illini holding opponents to 39%. That's the best in the Big Ten Conference. But tonight, getting lit up at 53%.
It is amazing, folks, as you travel around the home court advantage in this particular conference. There's just like two personalities with these teams when we see them at home on the road.
Well, number one, the depth of the league. There's no gimmies, no easy ones in any Big Ten arena. Number two, you're familiar. It's where you practice, where you play. You've got the home crowd, so you tend to be more aggressive. And basketball favors the aggressive team. That's how you get to the foul line. And also aggressive plays defensively usually determine a basketball game.
Yeah, the referee was over-checking to see if the ball hit great. They were over across the way, and it looks like it might have grazed it. Just check it out. Yeah, it looks like just a little bit.
Absolutely.
Came off it. Illinois has only one timeout left, folks. We do not want to lose sight of that. That's a very, very important statistic. With 9:14 to go, Bruce Weber is left with one timeout now. And coming back Wolverine way. They're up 4.
Now we can help Weber out, of course, with 2 TV timeouts. So he's got 3 overall to work with.
And I guarantee you we will help him out. we will not miss. Here comes Horton again on the attack. And a foul, pushing foul, goes against Illinois. Smith pushed him.
You know, Horton playing with tremendous poise and doesn't seem in a hurry. Has taken some tough shots in terms of contested shots, but they're not rushed.
Brown will take a seat. Sims checks back in. Pruitt returns for the Illini. And Carter takes a seat.
It's always fascinating to watch a player who gets in the zone, and clearly Daniel Horton in the zone tonight. Flowing confidence.
Here's Harris trying to join him, and headman is Brown. Cut off. Harris did a good job defensively of not giving D. Brown the transition. Randall pulls it back. Loads the big man, and going to work is Pruitt.
Boy, Pruitt did a nice job, Brent, of facing up the defense. A quick maneuver. Comes back with the spin move hook off the glass. Well done.
They've got to get Horton back into the attack after he took that break. And he'll load Sims. Turn around right baseline. No. Now the Illini come back. Looking for the lead. Archer stays on the floor. Augustine, and there was a whistle before the shot. Petway defending Augustine, and he fouled him. 7:55. We will take that break. Our first one, 55-53 Michigan.
Show Daddy what you got. Did you call that? Hey, the stripe balls. You know, the balls with the stripe. Scratch, scratch. Uh-oh.
The world of light beer just got a little darker. Introducing new Michelob Ultra Amber. With its deep amber color and full flavored taste, it's the new look of light beer.
Hey, you want to throw some darts?
Introducing the all-new 2006 Lincoln Zephyr. Never before has so much leather, wood, and satin nickel trim fit into 3/4 of a reserved parking space. Lease the all-new 2006 Lincoln Zephyr now for only $339 a month. Lincoln, reach higher.
The bench huddled around, getting ready to go back in.
They're already in foul trouble, and it's early in the game. This could be one of the greatest comeback. Ball inside. They kick it outside. It's a 3 on the way. It's up and it's gone!
Never say, I missed that game again. Only DirecTV lets you watch up to 3 games at once and broadcast coverage of every tournament game. Ask how you can get DirecTV for just $29.99 a month. Call now before tip-off.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by the Tuber, Lincoln, Reach Higher, and DirecTV. If you don't have DirecTV, see what you've been missing. Call 1-800-DirecTV today.
Coming down the stretch, some Illini fans, part of Orange Crush, are here tonight. They came in under the cover of darkness. They wore Michigan t-shirts and then stripped them off when they got together upstairs. As we check now our Nike game track here, Illinois without a single bench point. Augustine, a very powerful double-double. And Daniel Horton, 12 of 18 from the field.
Brent, let's take a look at Sean Pruitt down here on the block, doing a nice job of holding his post position. On the catch, he's going to face up his opponent, read the defense, use the bounce to get closer to the basket, and come back off the square with a nice hook shot. Well done.
Now look at this. Here they are. Like I said, they snuck into the building. They thought, well, those Michigan fans, then they got together. 55-53. The chef has made it all the way.
Chef looks like he's gone on a diet. Looking lean and mean.
Blocked. Picked back up. Pruitt can't finish. Brown back on the floor despite three. Horton, great pass. And what a defensive play by Randall.
Wow.
The athletic Randall makes the defensive.
We've seen him climb a ladder offensively for some ridiculous dunks. Now we're seeing at the defensive end of the floor. Trailing the play, heads up, full extension, excellent timing. Slap it off the glass.
Came with the left hand from that side. Got it cleanly. Illini ball in low, and missing on the run-in was Randall that time, and Harris pounds it back up the right side and turned it over.
On a call, a quota call. Maybe what, every third game we've seen it this year? The carrying.
You're right. It was a point of emphasis. Remember at the clinic?
Every year, a point of emphasis. Yet like Iverson still gets
traveling to the NBA is a point of emphasis.
Oh, clean up the post.
November 15th, we forget about that one, right, folks?
Once you get in the Big Ten, all the gloves are off. Bring the brass knuckles.
Back in low, Pruitt. The big fella Sims held in. The chef loves it up above. Grilling with Weber. And down away from Pruitt on the inside, and Frazier over to settle the big man down. He's in a pretty good battle down low that you folks have been watching against Sims.
Sean Pruitt still an underclassman. Wants to be careful not to allow the emotion of the game to get the best of him. In the bonus now, the rest of the way. That is key, Brent.
Now here comes the front end. There's the key one.
Well, Michigan, one of the better free throw shooting teams in the conference, 75% on the year. So that is a big asset to have coming down the stretch in close games when you get to the bonus and double bonus situation.
There were a lot of people who were very surprised that this was rated basically a pickup game, but it shows you the value court in this conference and how it is respected. Sims made them both, and it's 57-55. There's your free throw story. We've had only a total of 12 free throws here tonight. Very well officiated and well played basketball game, we might add. D. Brown cuts without the ball, goes up left-handed and missed it. Augustine, and reaching in is Brown. That on Brown. That's going to be. Let's double check this one now. And that's the third one. D. Brown backs it up off the iron. Harris diving for the ball. Terrific save by Horton. Into Harris, though, and into him.
Good call by Eddie Hightower. Brian Randall, an excellent defender. Seen him block a shot. Loose ball. Scattered court. Harris runs right over Randall. The Illini, going for their third consecutive Big Ten championship, have built their program defense first.
Final 6 minutes now, and Illinois turns it over. I think Brown thought the other way for the basket.
Yeah, poor angle, little miscommunication there. Brown either needs to take it one or two more bounces towards the baseline to feed that ball into the post. Or as you mentioned, Augustine would have to step out.
There's a steal. Here he comes.
Beep, beep.
Indeed, the Roadrunner puts it in, and Mama loves it. Deadlocked at 57.
Great anticipation. Laying on that passing lane like a defensive back, Brent. We've seen it in football with a Deion Sanders or Ronnie Lott. Excellent timing here off the ball. Anticipating, getting that windshield wiper, denial hand out in front, the easy deuce in the open court for the beep-beep, the Roadrunner.
So there it shows you where they rank. The scoring defense is 7th nationally. Rebound margin, very impressive, 9th. And they're very close on field goal defense. A lot of folks think that's the most important statistic defensively, certainly in the NBA. They respect it in the NCAA.
So there'll be games where you're not in rhythm offensively, or you don't get to the foul line. You don't get the whistle. Balls don't bounce your way. It's your defense, night in, night out, that keeps you in position to have a chance to win.
So 5 points away from sliding into 3rd place all time. Jumping past Brian Cook, who's now playing with the Lakers. Michigan, against this defense, hasn't had a field goal in the last 4 or 5. Folks, I don't think Horton has scored since he came back in after he took his last blow. Back in the rhythm.
Randall also causing some problems with his size on Horton. The long wingspan.
Wasn't it?
You know, defense is similar to ERA in baseball. Field goal percentage defense. It's what keeps you in the game.
Horton trying, but it was waved off by Ted Hillary. Remember now, they're commits his 3rd. Shooting 1-on-1 now.
My point being there, Brent, that if you have a solid pitching core in baseball, your team ERA is what allows a team to stay around in the late innings and have a chance to win a game.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's what the Illini, year after year, we've seen that. Bruce Weber at Southern Illinois winning 2 conference titles in a row, now 2 consecutive conference titles here with the Illini. He does it with defense.
He's going to be a very, very fascinating 5-up. Horton 2 points away from his career high. And the Wolverines have hit both front ends of 1-and-1s. They're up 59-57. Horton out on D. Brown. McBride far away from the basket.
Brown working off the ball for a catch.
D. Brown off the iron. Sims to save it. And Coleman out hustles him for the loose ball. Now it is Horton's turn to attack. Cut off. Keeps coming. Kick back.
Good choice to bring the ball back out.
And they were wrestling over there, Randall and Horton. A 30-second timeout is the call. Randall has really changed everything. Folks, I mentioned the Nationals out in Seattle. It was Illinois favored over Michigan. Here's how it wound up.
50 seconds left in the game. Battle rises up and falls. If they can hit it, they'll go to the championship. Mills outside. The 3. It's Higgins. The fire. 1 second on the clock. You got to be careful. And that's it. Michigan upsets Illinois. They'll play Seton Hall for a national championship.
Voice sounds familiar. You know, I always turn on the classic sports channel, and no matter what event it is, no matter what year it is, somehow it's Brent Musburger. Those pipes, so strong.
There's Stephen Bardo over there, up there, part of the radio broadcast back to Champaign. Here is the star of the Michigan team. Glenn Rice carried them through, and they beat Seton Hall in a very dramatic overtime game. P.J. Carlissimo was the coach of Seton Hall. Lou Henson, you saw him with Illinois. Steve Fisher, of course, the head coach of the Wolverines. Bo Schitt was the athletic director that year. Those were the days, folks. Traveling. Big turnover here, Steve.
Critical turnover. The Illini, on their recent possessions, Brent, have become a little too perimeter-oriented. Similar to the Wolverines, they need to be sure they play through Augustine. He doesn't have to force, but play through the big fella as they did in the first half. There he is.
And he drew the foul. He's on the free throw. He fouled in the act of shooting. He'll have a pair. Sims got him.
That's good recognition on the Illini collectively or collaboratively, knowing they need to get the big fella Augustine touches. He's so unselfish, he won't force. He'll read and recognize and react accordingly and make good decisions. That's what makes him so dangerous.
Smith returning. One-point game. 4 minutes now.
With each touch, Michigan gets deeper into the possession and gives us to the foul line, something they do well as a team. 75% on the year from the foul line. Illinois at 62. Not as accurate from the stripe.
8 on the shot. Smith on a run in, gets it into Sims' hands, and he flushes it and fouls. Folks, it is Judgment Week in the Big Ten. And tonight, it's all we expected and more.
How's the business?
We got new cars for our execs. What do you got?
We've got a secure network. We don't have to commute. Check.
Company barbecues?
Secure network. We commingle 24/7.
Yoga. Stress reduction.
Secure network. No stress. Check.
Espresso bar.
Checkmate.
Check.
Confidence.
Imagination has officially been captured. Introducing the all-new 2006 Lincoln Zephyr. See your dealer today and capture this attractive offer. Lincoln, reach higher.
7-Up burst of real fruit juice, 10% of your daily calcium, and only 10 calories per serving. It tastes so good, you can feel it in your bones. 7-Up Plus. For great taste with calcium, the only way to go is up.
Coming to DVD, getting the money was easy. Getting away is another story.
Ouch, that had to hurt. Yeah, sure did.
John Cusack and Billy Bob Thornton.
Then I took his gun. Guess he must have another one.
Must have.
The Ice Harvest on DVD February 28th.
Introducing mobile ESPN. Sports fans, your phone has arrived.
Is that the winning team? Yes, that's the winning team. Oh, we're the Bruins. Yes, we're the Bruins. Basketball. Basketball. Court. Court. Ready.
ESPN College Game Day, fueled by Diet Dew, Saturdays at 11 and 8 on ESPN.
Brett back here in the studio. We could have an upset brewing in Hartford. Collin falls for Notre Dame, part of a 24-3 second-half run for the Irish, and they lead Connecticut by 4 under 2 minutes to play in Hartford. Ronnie Brewer and Arkansas getting ready for tip-off against Alabama coming up at the top of the hour. Brent, back to you right now in Ann Arbor.
And keep an eye on that Notre Dame game. 24-3. What a comeback there. Here, Michigan has come back in the second half. They lead it 61-58, and they're without. Out with an MCL. Lester Abram will not return until perhaps the Big Ten tournament. And Amadou Ba suspended for a game and a half because of the incident in East Lansing involving a fan.
Well, when you look at the fact that Michigan is so short-handed, Tommy Emmerich and his staff have done a nice job of putting their team in position to win, Horton individually, but their defensive schemes have been excellent. Sometimes, Brent, you just have to find a way to generate a win.
The front end has been very critical. That time, the third point. The field goal had been good just before the break. So it's a 4-point Wolverine lead. McBride has been quiet here in the second half.
Look at the ball pressure.
And and he turns it over.
Yeah, Deion Harris just digging in at the ball, stalking. Dig hand with the windshield wiper hand, both palms up, forcing the turnover.
Did he get a hand on it? You know, I looked quickly at that replay. I couldn't tell for sure the way it went through his legs. He was reaching his hand in. But anyway, Wolverine basketball. And we get confirmation from the fellas watching the replays back there that it was a good call by the officials, and they've done a fine job here tonight. Horton pops out, coming down inside of 3 minutes. D. Brown looking for another steal. Great one-on-one duel, and Frazier on him. D. Brown is over on Smith. The runner a little bit off balance. Saved by Sims. Tosses it deep. What a save by Sims that time. Shot clock. Air ball. Pushing foul. And it's against the Wolverines.
Tough, empty possession at this stage of the game.
And Brown for. Coleman checks in. Pruitt returns for the Illini.
You know, understandably, Brent, Tommy Amaker wanted the ball in Horton's hand. He shoots 92%, but you might want to get it back to him at the end of the possession and give yourself a chance to get fouled down low with the big people.
Nothing would be sweeter for Tommy than his first win over the Illini. He'll have to stop young Pruitt. Wow, off the dribble.
Telling Coach Weber, I got skills.
62-60. Now we're down to the 2-minute mark.
Pruitt demonstrating he's not just a banger, Brent.
Timeout has been called. Let's take a look at Pruitt, the sophomore from Aurora, Illinois, out west of Chicago.
Well, Michigan extended defensively, and the opportunistic Pruitt says, why not? I've got a lane to the basket. See how extended defensively. Horton does not see his man. Poor late rotation, and that allows Pruitt to get to the bucket for the flush. A little chin up on the rim.
10 points, 5 of 7 from the field.
Very emotional young man, spirited.
Judgment Week on ESPN, presented by Cisco Systems. With Steve Lavin, I'm Brent Musburger. Why, oh why did Erin Andrews take tonight off? Oh, I guess she's got some baseball meetings. 11 consecutive losses against the Illini. You've seen our graphic on Tommy Amaker. 0-12 lifetime. He wants this one so badly. The Wolverines need to break out of their rut. You've got an opportunity here at home. You're closing in on a spot in the NCAA tournament, but you can't lose control of it late. Harris gets in over the top now. Sims was coming in, and the foul on the Illini.
Boy, that was an accurate, pinpointed pass over the top of the defense. Illinois just a step slow on the rotation and trying to build a wall with that lob pass. You see Augustine fronting a nice lead pass. McBride rotates and takes kind of a weak swipe at the ball instead of building a wall defensively.
Now the second one.
What an asset to have big men who to be able to step up and make free throws. 75% on the year for Michigan.
Michigan has been lethal down the stretch, Coach, at the free throw line in this game. 10 of 11, and most of them come here in the second half.
Coach Amaker's personality, I think, a real asset. Even keel, Brent, with all the problems, off-court distractions, he keeps an even keel, which allows a team to be resilient and come back. If the coach doesn't panic, the team won't panic.
Gives it back to an open Augustine. Yes. Makes it a 2. A minute and a half remaining.
6'10" and so comfortable stepping out to knock down shots from distance.
Shot clock inside of 20.
Little two-man game. I like this possession. Everyone gets a touch and then come back to Horton.
A career night. 66-62. 33 points for Daniel Horton.
Michigan switching on the perimeter.
And the foul is going to be against Brown on the inside.
That's an excellent call by Ted Hillary.
So Graham Brown has fouled out of the game. Petway is up for Amaker. Daniel Horton with a 33-point night. Brown leaves with his 5th foul. 44 seconds remaining and a 4-point lead.
Brent, let me talk about why I said that was an excellent call. With the officials, they let the flow of the game go. In the late stages, if there's an advantage-disadvantage situation, for instance, on that post feed, Brown gaining from behind and fouling Augustine, Michigan would have secured possession of the ball. That is when a good official comes in and makes a call.
Weber wants him quickly to come over to him. They were cleaning something up on the floor, and Weber was very animated about bringing the Illini over. 44 seconds, shorter timeouts. I think the refs are taking a look across the way also at this foul.
Got the hand in the back. You could jockey for position, but once that ball's in the air coming into the post, you've got to get that forearm off of the back of the offensive player. Ted Hillary, multiple Final Fours and national championship appearances as an official. Eddie Hightower's been to 10 Final Fours and runs to the Final Fours.
Now, obviously, you don't have instant replay to turn a foul over, so they were looking at the clock to make sure that the time is correct here. 45.7. Augustine, who is 3 of 6, I believe, from the line tonight, comes up.
66% on the year.
Critical 1-on-1. Here comes your front end, folks. It's yes, the clutch senior.
Veteran players often have better focus, better concentration. You'd like them to have the same focus over the entirety of the game, but in crunch time, so often we see veteran players make shots in spite of the percentages, saying they should miss. Soft touch, got the shooter's touch there.
66-64 with 45 ticks of the clock. Jarrett Smith, the ball handler, on the floor.
With full court pressure, taking a man off the ball on the inbounds. Quick double team in the coffin corner.
Weber thought he had him over there too, that he didn't get it called.
Well, Coach Weber feels he anticipated the call.
Look at this.
There's the Gene Cady in him. A disciple, a mean Gene Cady.
He learned that one.
Look at the bloodlines.
From Gene.
Where's the scowl, Bruce?
So Randall, who picked the foul up, the game, so it's a double loss.
Boy, tough
now,
from that angle.
If they had called a held ball, the ball would still belong to Michigan, but Weber and the Illini would not have lost Randall. So that becomes the critical part of this equation. Did you agree with the call? You took a look at that replay. You're kind of shaking your head.
Official had a much better position than we did, clearly in the corner. The hand is part of the ball. It was a tie-up. He may have got him initially on the arm and then dug into the, again, you can't see we're blocked. There, it looks like a jump ball situation.
Looks like Weber had a pretty good angle on it, too.
Weber wanted a triple team. It's really not fair. He's over there in the corner with the sideline. Does everything short of jumping into the triple team trap.
But again, they have lost Randall as a result of it. If they had called a held ball, the possession arrow greens. However, now Michigan comes up, and they have made 9 consecutive free throws.
And Horton at 92%, Brent. Good coaching to get him the ball in late game situations.
So here's Daniel Horton, a career night. That's the man that Tommy Amaker would want on the line right now. 34, 10 straight free throws. Amaker just 43 seconds away from his head coach over the Illini. Lost twice at Seton Hall. 10 times here with the Wolverines. 35.9, 68-64. Now the Illini have to hurry.
They don't need a three. They can still get a three in rhythm.
McBride short. Augustine lost it.
And I didn't think it was necessary there, Brent, to shoot the three. If it's in rhythm, that's fine on the deck. The chef, not happy. He's made the long drive. It could be a long drive home.
He just burnt the burgers. He left them on a flame too long, kid.
He might be on lean cuisine. I'm surprised. Can you really be a chef if you're not roly and poly? I want to see the chef.
Bruce Weber and the Illini up against it here now. 34.9. Trailing the Wolverines, who are lethal at the free throw line.
Ball security, the key here, Brent.
Back on the free throw line, Frazier trying to reach around. So here comes the main man. Daniel Horton. He was the Wolverines' Kobe Bryant here tonight. The crowd is chanting Daniel Horton. And his system's player of the game with a career 35, trying to add to it here. And he does.
Horton's been a great story this year, Brent. When you think of the adversity he went through last year off the court, a special relationship with Tommy Amaker, who gave him that unconditional support and love that a coach can give to a player. Learned from the situation off the court, has come back a much improved player.
A 6-point game. Now the Illini will put it in D. Brown's hands, who tried to score and draw the foul, did neither. And the Wolverines are going to move to 8-6 in the Big Ten. Tommy Amaker and the Wolverines take a huge, huge step toward the Marty in March. March Madness is well within their grasp now as they go to 8-6.
This Big Ten race, Brent, gets more and more interesting the deeper we go in conference play. Michigan shot 49% tonight, shredding the Illini's defense.
This is going to be a wonderful scene in here in Crisler Arena. They haven't had a lot to celebrate in theirs. And Daniel Horton, he's just been automatic at that free throw line.
Well, this gets Michigan in the NCAA tournament, a 500 record or better, because of the strength of this league. The strongest RPI conference in America will put the Wolverines in the NCAA. Joe Lunardi can bank on it.
He already has, Coach. He's got him in and out into Horton's hands. This week, they'll move up with this one. Final 5. Tommy Amaker beats Illinois for the first time in his coaching career. The students refrain from storming the floor. They continue to dance in the stands. An 8-point victory for Steve Lavin and our entire ESPN crew. I'm the presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader. Now let's go back to Stan Farrett in the studio. Take it away, Stan.
Okay, Brent, thanks a lot. We're going to take you out to Alabama and Arkansas in just a minute. First, bonus coverage coming up. Connecticut and UConn. Marcus Williams, a triple-double. You got to put back to tie the game and send it into overtime after a furious rally by Notre Dame to take control. To take you out there for the final minute 41.
25-2 run.
Bob Picozzi and Ron Perry with the call.
And an 18-0 run to take a 6-point lead. UConn came back, tied it on a Marcus Williams shot with regulation. And Rudy Gay missed that free throw. He got to the line because he had a basket inside. And those are the only points of the overtime. So it's UConn by a pair.
See if Falls can get it going again. He's been the big gun, but really blanketed the last several minutes.
Kerr's had one huge three in the second half, making another one.
Oh, huge basket for Notre Dame as they regain the lead in this one, and they just won't go away. It's going down to the wire here.
Kerrs with 6 points. Dagger threes. Armstrong to Gay. Gets a step on Carter. Lost the handle. Might have been last touched by Francis. With 20 left in the shot clock. Anderson will re-enter for UConn. This is Kerrs with a wide open look.
He had a couple of big ones. He had a couple in regulation, and there's a beautiful shot right there. Quinn and Falls really being face guarded by Connecticut, and Kerrs taking advantage. I liked if they can get him the ball again and then crash with Armstrong and Boone out there. Rashad Anderson, another guy capable of making the big shot for the Huskies.
Shot clock inside 10. Anderson for three. Rebound inside Armstrong, and he's immediately fouled. And that will be number 7 on the Irish, so it will be a 1-and-1 for Hilton Armstrong.
Great look for Rashad Anderson, right on the money, right in front of us, and halfway down and kicks out.
Second foul on Kerrs. The game summary. Notre Dame with that 25-2 run. The last 18 points of that run were in succession. They had trailed by 19. Colin Falls with a huge second half. UConn leading the country in block shots for a 5th straight year with 18 more of them tonight.
That's incredible. They've just stuffed things inside, but Notre Dame has found an answer from the perimeter.
Armstrong, a 68% free throw shooter, is 4 of 5 from the line tonight. He'll get another one.
Where Connecticut's so tough when they do miss inside with Armstrong and Boone. Big baskets by Hilton Armstrong. Again, keeping the pressure on Notre Dame. We've got the odd score again, +1 for Connecticut. Next foul will put Notre Dame to the line. Can't kill your dribble like that.
Carter gets a half step on Brown, drives, partially blocked by Boone. Rebound Armstrong, who fell down. Ball, arrow pointing toward the Irish. With 27 seconds left, the shot clock will be off. Armstrong with the huge rebound. He fell down, and before he could get it to an open teammate, he was tied up.
Wild action in there as Carter tries to get it done. The scramble. It looks like it was a tie-up. I'm not seeing the timeout on that one, and Notre Dame will keep possession. See if Mike Bray comes up with balls to see if they can free him up for shot. He's had the hot hand tonight for Notre Dame.
Now with Notre Dame down by 1, how much time do you let run off the clock before you launch one? You can't play for the last shot, because if you don't get it, you lose.
Yeah, I think that would be, you know, really a tough move on the road to weight it down. But the way Connecticut plays D, you've just got to work it till you get that good opportunity. I think the first time you can penetrate and get a good look, you're looking for that clean opportunity to get a good shot. Quinn and Falls would be your two.
Right, and Falls moves so well without the ball, and Quinn does a great job of getting it to him. Quinn will inbound baseline. Williams is on him. Anderson is on Falls. Gay on Carter. Armstrong on Francis. And Boone on Kerr. He's looking for Falls. He can't get it to him. No timeouts left for the Irish. Comes to Francis, and now Falls will get it to Quinn with 23 seconds left in overtime. Notre Dame down 1. They clear the middle. They send Francis to the foul line with 10 seconds left.
Going for it. You got to penetrate. You got to get some action going now.
Francis sets the screen. Armstrong pops out to pick him up. For the win. Quinn, no good. Rebound Gay, and UConn will escape.
Wow. What an effort by Notre Dame, but Connecticut hangs on.
So Notre Dame down by 19, came back and took a 6-point. UConn tied it on a Marcus Williams putback with 9 seconds left in regulation. And in the overtime, UConn did not have a field goal, or the only field goal by Rudy Gay. He missed the free throw trying to make it a 3-point play. And here is Notre Dame's last possession.
Well, they got a great effort here. Good look, although always a tough shot when you got people like Boone in your face, and Quinn just can't quite get it to kiss home off the glass.
UConn wins it 75-74. The Huskies go to 24-2. They're 11-2 in the Big East, a half game behind first place Villanova.
All right, so UConn able to squeak it out, and Notre Dame has got to be winning. What do they have to do to win a close game? It's been over and over and over again for them this season.
Yeah, an incredible comeback stand. They had the chance to win the game at the end, but you got to give UConn a lot of credit with their defense. They forced the drive by Chris Quinn and made him finish oversized. And if you noticed, Rashad Anderson stayed right on Colin Falls, didn't come off him at all, so they couldn't kick it to him. That was solid defense.
Yeah, and then you got Boone and Hilton Armstrong there, top shot. That's so hard to drop. You know, you got 2 shot blockers coming at. That lane closes down so well with UConn, and they're just too tough. They've got too much depth.
Jay, we're talking about the trap game. You hadn't heard that term before?
I hadn't heard that term.
Jim Calhoun almost found out what the trap game was. The Huskies have Villanova coming up again on Sunday. They lost to Villanova last week. All right, now let's head to Fayetteville, Alabama and Arkansas. Brad Nessler and Jimmy Dykes.
Underway here. Alabama turns it over as we have Super Tuesday presented by Lexus. Key game, part of Judgment Week, presented by Cisco Systems. A big, big game for both teams coming off huge wins. Alabama beat Tennessee over the weekend, and the Razorbacks down Florida in overtime. So what it has is 2 teams that are second and third behind LSU and the SEC West, battling not only to improve their position, Jimmy, in the standings in the conference, but to improve that all-important possible date coming up in March.
The tournament started tonight. They have secured their spot. Arkansas with work left to do.
Ferguson had it knocked away on the baseline, and I think Tom Lopes is going to say it was out of bounds. It was, as the Razorbacks turn it over. There's the SEC West. LSU at 10-2, much like the top of the SEC East with Tennessee on the other side. But Alabama at 8-4, Arkansas at 6-6. And the all-important RPIs and everything that can bearing, obviously, on this game. The Razorbacks are 1-5 on the road. They have 5 losses by a total of 11 points, but you had an even better one. Their 6 conference losses by what? Total of 16 points.
And that's how close they've been to maybe being a top 25 type team, but they have just not been able to finish off teams when they had a chance.
Oh, the lob underneath. The Hill can't get it, but he's going to go to the free throw line.
Brad, this is a big guy that can really control the basketball game on the defensive end of the floor. And any points they get out of Stephen Hill are extras. He usually is the 4th or 5th scoring option on the floor for the Hogs.
13-1 you saw for Stan in his 4th year. Stephen Hill, the big fella, mostly a shot blocker, not a big scorer. 7-footer out of Branson, Missouri. You can see, though, second in the conference in block shots, 74 coming in. He blocked one earlier already in this ballgame.
Arkansas has to get to that easy. Alabama, second in the nation. They only allow 13 or 14 fouls a ball game. They defend well without fouling.
Alabama jumped out to the 6-0 lead, but now it's cut down to 8-4. Tied. Brock flies in on the baseline and tips in his own miss. Talk about a quick jumper. Lead goes back to 6.
Alabama already early in this ball game with their 3rd or 4th offensive rebound.
Here's Ferguson on the outside with a 3. And Jamario Davidson's all alone for the rebound.
You look at Arkansas in this league, Brad, statistically they're at the top 3 or 4 in every category with exception of rebounding the basketball.
And in that case, they're 7th. On the outside, here's a guy that's never shy about shooting. John Felix. Jamario Davidson, boy, you got to box somebody out. He's got 6 already, Davidson.
Alabama had 20 offensive rebounds the first time these 2 teams played, and they're on.
Brock with a steal. Arkansas turns it over again.
Not as good a start if you're Mark Godfrey as you could ask for on the road in this building. Look at this.
Felix knocks down a 3. Stan Heath has seen enough. 5 minutes in. An 11-point lead already.
The strength of this Alabama club, in my opinion, is on that glass and in the paint. Yes, Felix can shoot some shots, but this is where they go to work. Davidson and Hendricks, I mean, they have some hunger. And when that outside shot's falling for this ball club, they can beat anyone in this league, as they've already proven with wins over teams like Kentucky and LSU and Tennessee.
And remember, they're doing this without Chuck Davis. As you take a look at Alabama at 15-9, their resume 8-4 in conference play. The RPI, their strength of schedule. Jimmy mentioned the wins over the likes of Kentucky and LSU, and an all-important win over Tennessee by 13 over the weekend. And Chuck Davis, since he went out with the injury on January 7th and has since had knee surgery. They're 8-3. That's why I think Mark Godfrey this year in his 8th year as I think he's ever done, because I said to him before the last game we did, I said, you're doing it with kind of like MacGyver, you know, a piece of string and a book of matches. He's only got 7 guys. But at any rate, they're having a pretty good season in their 8th year and looking for another, which would be a 5th straight NCAA appearance.
You know, look at a club like Marquette out of the Big East. I think they have really overachieved this year with freshman guards on that floor for Tom Crean. And Mark Godfrey, with only 7 scholarship guys, is right there with him.
Good looking shot. Didn't quite go for him. Offensive rebound, though. And underneath, Vincent Hunter scores.
Well, because Towns demands a double team on the touch, you can get some offensive rebounds if Towns also shoots the basketball.
Felix trying to get it inside. Davidson turns and comes up short. Rebound, though, kept alive by Brock. Right now, the loose ball rebounds are going Alabama's way.
Yeah, the 50-50 balls, Alabama much quicker is the reaction.
McCurdy picks up a foul. 14-19 first half. Arkansas in an early hole by 9.
NCAA Women's Basketball Championship coming in March.
There is a fine line between recklessness and courage. It's about time you understood what
It's time for an alternative vehicle that's fuel efficient yet spacious, more powerfully. Introducing the world's first luxury hybrid, the Lexus RX 400h.
Sweetheart Brownie Blast. Sonic's got it, others don't. Treat your sweetheart to the sweet taste of chocolate brownies and cherries blended into a creamy frozen treat. Sonic's new Sweetheart Brownie Blast. And now swipe a credit or My Sonic card from your car. Only at Sonic.
Now on DVD, Ultimate Avengers, the first animated movie from Marvel.
They'll need a tough team to handle it.
Featuring Captain America, Iron Man, the Incredible Hulk.
Jumpstart Project Avenger.
If they can learn to work together,
Thanks.
they may just save Earth. Ultimate Avengers, the movie, rated PG-13. Own it today on DVD and UMD.
Now knock it off or I'm gonna squish you.
Being able to track packages is critical to our customers. That's why we've developed a more advanced scanning system. You see, we take delivering information as delivering packages.
UPS, what can Brown do for you?
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is presented by Lexus and their passionate pursuit of perfection. And in part by Sonic. It's not just good, it's Sonic good.
Well, Alabama off to a good start on this Super Tuesday presented by Lexus. 15-6 leaders on the road, 14-19 to go. First, tell everybody, Brad Nessler, my partner. This is old stomping grounds for Jimmy Dykes. You know this team better than anybody in this business. Arkansas needs this win tonight, and they're not off to a good start.
No, they're not. They're at best on the bubble right now, but I think they could play their way into this tournament with a 56 RPI. It needs to get to drop and get better. They would do that certainly with a win over Alabama and Tennessee on Saturday. They have some key wins, Brad, in Kansas. Missouri State out of the Missouri Valley Conference is a very good win. That's a top 25 RPI club in Florida on Saturday. Their key losses to UConn. The two that really stung them, Mississippi State and Ole Miss. That's certainly
They're going to need to rebound better than they have in the first 6 minutes of this ball game. As they've been out-rebounded 9-0. Alabama has 5 offensive boards already, and that's given them second chance points. And obviously the 15-6 lead they have.
Arkansas in a 2-3 zone. They play at least 10 possessions over the game because of Brewer and Modic and how many minutes they play.
Boy, just a runner there, kind of a prayer put up, and it goes in.
For Stan Heath, you had to be concerned, how will his club respond after a big win? Something they haven't had to do all season.
So far, not too good. Here's McCurdy. Knocked away from Monica by Felix. And Felix comes up with a steal. Trying to get a timeout. Ball still loose. And it really never...
Well, Felix ate his lunch, though, didn't he?
Yes, he did. Man. Brewer crossing the lane. Would have been a tough shot for even Ronnie. And now he's trying to get the ball back. No jump ball, no foul. Back comes Alabama. Steal, pull up 3. Got it. Ooh, just ripped it, too.
I think he's one of the better point guards, not only in this league, but in the country. I mean, he plays over 40 minutes a ball game for the most part all season long because of some overtime games, and he can run a club with the best of them.
Coming off a 22-point game to lead all scorers in the win over 10. He's got 7 tonight. There's a whistle and a foul underneath. This is going to be on Alonzo G. That'll be his first. Second meeting between these two clubs. The earlier one was in Tuscaloosa. With more on that, here's Heather.
Indeed, Arkansas definitely using that first meeting as a little extra motivation for tonight. Arkansas had a 13-point lead and blew it with 12 minutes to go. The hero in that game, Alabama's Ronald Steele, who took the game over with clutch free throws and the game winner. Now, the major point of contention in that game for Stan Heath, the fact that Arkansas shot just 9 free throws to Alabama in that game. So, Brad, a defining game for both teams for much different reasons, and so far it seems Arkansas not really turning all that talk into action tonight.
Yeah, they're going to the free throw line, but they're missing it. Towns missed 2 there, and the lead remains 14 for Alabama.
And this is amazing. Alabama with 12 rebounds in this game so far. Arkansas with 1.
Steele pull-up jumper on the baseline. He's feeling it right now. That one doesn't drop for him. Comes off to Arkansas, looking to push it ahead. Boy, they are not giving Ronnie Brewer much room, are they?
No, they will crowd him, and they will not switch off on Brewer or Monica in this ball game.
And Felix now a little too aggressive guarding Ferguson, and he picks up the foul. 6'7" senior, known more for his three-point shooting, but he's really getting down on defense tonight since he's entered the game. He was a starter earlier in the season, coming off the bench now, and I think that helps Mark Godfrey because he's an offensive spark, and you can intensity on the other end.
You know, Mark Godfrey challenged him this afternoon at the shoot-around. I know I can count on you to shoot that basketball. I need you to be a lockdown defender tonight.
Darian Towns, good-looking hook shot, looked better than his free throws. Felix, other end, 3 comes out. Towns with a board. Knocked away by Hendricks. Out of bounds. It'll be Arkansas basketball. Ronnie Brewer is the leading scorer in the conference. Preseason player of the year. Everybody's first team All-SEC pick, if not an All-American pick. So far scoreless, averaging 19 a game.
And at Arkansas, this is their first big game on a national stage this year with meaning in this ball game. They could be a little tight right now early. They've certainly looked at the part.
See if they settle in. On the baseline, Davidson got a piece of that, but it comes out to Ferguson, so give him the long offensive rebound. Give Felix another foul, his second. And Arkansas still trailing by a dozen. 20-8 Alabama, 11:47 to go first half.
It's time for an alternative vehicle that's fuel efficient yet spacious, that runs cleaner yet more powerfully. Introducing the world's first luxury hybrid.